Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to unpack the one-page marketing plan book. It's a really awkward way of holding the book. The one-page marketing plan book. This book completely changed my life. It was published, I think, in 2016, and I read it as it came out. I actually bought the Audible version, and then I went and grabbed the textbook because it became something I wanted to study. When you're listening to something, that's cool, but sometimes you want to reread it and go, what was it said again? How does this work again? What do I do next? So hence, I got the book. Basically read it so that you don't have to. There's some nuggets to be shared. Get your pen and paper ready because we're going to unpack what this book is all about and how it can help you improve your marketing and your business. Now, I just want to say thank you for giving me your attention. I'm not going to take it for granted. I'm going to try my best to keep this as short and sweet as possible. If you've watched any of my other content and if you enjoyed this video, perhaps consider giving me a like or a subscribe so you'll be notified about future videos, which I will be doing more of. Cool. With that said, let's just dive straight in, shall we? Right, so the book basically has 3 segments and the author basically call it 3 different phases. And we're going to start with the first phase, which is the before phase. What does the before phase actually mean? Well, this is everything that you have to do within your business and from a marketing perspective, a strategic side of things in order to get the business ready for your marketing strategy and potential clients that might come. So this is basically phase 1. Then there's a phase 2 and a phase 3. So we're going to unpack phase 1 in the next few minutes, and then we'll do phase 2, and then we'll do the last phase as well. Right, so in the before phase, we've got 3 things that we need to understand. First of all, who are you going to target? That is the first thing that we need to unpack. And that's the biggest mistake that a business owner makes when it comes to launching a product or a service. They want to start a beauty business. They want to start a cleaning service or a cleaning company or even an agency. It doesn't matter what you want to do. But we think about creating a business, but we sometimes neglect who and what specific customer we actually want to target. Neglecting finding that 1 or 2 different personas that you ideally want to target as a business can be very detrimental to you, purely because of the fact that if you don't know how to speak to those people, they won't listen. They won't be able to hear what you have to say.
Hey! Guess what I got in this bag? Hello?
You see, there's so much noise today on social media and online specifically. We are bombarded with emails and texts and notifications that we don't have the attention span to pay attention to anything that is not resonating with us. Therefore, if you want to cut through the noise, if you want to have a dog whistle effect when it comes to your marketing, you need to be speaking to people in a specific way that's going to grab their attention. And the only way you're going to be able to do that is if you resonate with them. The only way to resonate with them is to truly understand their pain points so that you can offer a solution to those pain points. So the first step of phase 1 is really identifying your target market. So for example, beauty business, what services are you going to specialize in specifically? This could be facials, it could be laser hair removals. Once you've picked one of those 2 services, who are you ideally now going to speak to? Who are you going to target with those 2 services? So if you had to pick the hair removal service, the question is, are you going to be focusing on targeting men and women? Because if you're going to show a female ad to a man, it might not resonate with him. And if you're going to show a male ad to a female, again, you're going to have the same effect. Right, so let's pretend that you are specifically going to focus on females because realistically that might be the bigger portion of the market. So then the question is, are we going to be targeting the youth or are we going to be targeting an older demographic? Because both of them might respond to messages differently. So in this case, you might say, well, I want to target everybody between 22 and 40. So basically over an 18-year gap, that is quite big, but the reality is there's a good chance if you're focusing on hair removal specifically that the message will resonate with anybody between those ages. So that is stage 1 of phase 1. Remember, phase 1 is the before phase. Stage 1 of the before phase is identifying who you're going to target. Stage 2 becomes the messaging side of things, which now becomes a lot more streamlined and easier to understand because we've identified who we want to target. So now the messaging in itself will kind of start to fall into place. So we've handpicked that we want to target ladies between the ages of 22 and 40. Now the question is, what are their biggest pain points when it comes to hair removal? Because that is essentially the message that we want to put in front of them. At the same time, I want to mention that if you were a beauty business, you had all these endless services, then it's going to be difficult to speak to someone in a specific way that they are going to go, hey, this is exactly for me and what I'm trying to look for right now. Or, hey, I never really thought about that. Let me look at this specific service. So this is where messaging comes in. Because now, as opposed to saying, hey, we're a beauty clinic and we have all these services, you can say, hey, we understand these pain points and we'll take care of it for you. So while we're on this topic, let's quickly chat about different pain points that people that would need laser hair removal between the ages of 22 and 40 who are specifically female would have. So the one pain point might be that people don't want to continue shaving their armpit hair because it's just tedious and sometimes you forget and you don't have time, and whenever you expect it the least, you lift up your arm and there's a bush hanging out and the guy or your spouse or whoever it may be might just be like, So having to consistently shave whatever body part it might be can become an inconvenience, and essentially by doing laser hair removal in the short term, that can allow you to save money long term because because now you don't have to buy shaving cream, you don't have to buy razor blades, and it's also going to be convenient. So it could be a potential money saver, it could be a time saver, and it's just convenient. So I just want to put out a disclaimer that I'm not a beauty marketing expert, so I might leave that up to our head of lead generation, Jandre, and our CEO, because... Alright, so now we've identified our target market, we understand their pain points, so we can create messaging that will specifically resonate with those pain points, and we now have those three things. So let's move on to stage 3. And this is the last stage of the before phase, which basically involves you getting eyeballs in front of that target market and on the message that you want to put in front of them. And there are many different ways that you can do this. Paid ads is specifically one option, and if you're a local business, then Meta ads is probably going to be your best bet, to be honest with you. Of course, you can look into platforms like Google. It depends on the industry, whether you're B2B focused or direct to consumer focused. I just know for a fact that for beauty businesses, Meta ads work really well, so that's the example that we're going to be using today. Now on Facebook, you can go and target that demographic that we've discussed, and from a messaging standpoint, you can now create an ad that says, hey ladies, do you have these 3 pain points? Here is how we can help you solve that problem. That essentially is going to allow you to cut through the noise and actually present something that people are interested in, as opposed to having like this vanilla message that nobody really pays attention to. Not to mention that the latter will have a much higher CPM and CPC and a cost per lead and an eventual cost per acquisition. And the former, basically what we're doing now with this exercise, will allow us to drop our advertising costs and ensure a lower CPA. Right, so let's move on to phase 2, which is the during phase. And this basically involves you converting all of this attention and demand that you're creating, which might be in the form of leads, and how you can convert that into actual sales and money for your business. Right, so the first stage of the during phase, which is phase 2, is capturing leads. This means that if we're going to be running ads, we don't just want to boost posts, we actually want to drive people to a specific landing page, or we want to create some form of a lead form that they can potentially opt in for, so that we can capture those leads, so we can capture those emails. You see, the biggest mistake the business owners make is they think they're going to run an ad and their money is going to be on the other side of that, and that's not how it works. There are things that has to happen in between someone seeing the ad and someone giving you money, and we neglect all of that because we don't know how to do it, and this is what this book will help you understand. So getting back to the lead capturing phase is that, as opposed to just boosting a post and hoping people message you and then you having one-on-one conversations with every single one trying to convince them to take on your service, what you can do is run them straight to a funnel page where you capture their email and contact number, so someone on your team can phone them to make a booking for your beauty business. Or if you're not skilled in creating a landing page, you can also just run lead formats, because it's going to do the same thing. You might just have to do a little bit of manual work to convince someone to make a booking, but that's okay. But to conclude, the during phase, stage 1, is just capturing those details. Capture the email so you can contact them. Capture the contact number so you can actually WhatsApp them or SMS them, because that's how you start to communicate with a customer in a more private setting. So you're removing them from the noise of which is social media, and you're starting to have a private conversation with them. An analogy I like to use to explain this is almost like you're in a nightclub kind of bar setting. Let's pretend like your ideal partner is dancing on the dance floor and they grab your attention and you're like, whoa, okay, I need to make a move. How do you do that? Because the environment is so noisy. It's very difficult to strike a conversation with someone on the dance floor, right? So what you want to do is you're going to want to grab their attention. You want to potentially whisper in their ear and try and get them to come with you to the bar where there is less noise, so you can have a one-on-one private conversation with them. Maybe buy them a drink, get to know them better. And that is how I see social media and email and SMS marketing. It's you doing your best to grab someone's attention and bring them into an environment where it's not as noisy, where you can have more private conversations with them. And if you have someone's contact number, you can send them a direct message or even WhatsApp them. That's what basically capturing leads is all about. Right, so stage 2 in the during phase is nurturing. And what this is all about is we need to understand that not every single person who's going to leave their details are going to become a customer, okay? Business is a numbers game. Same way, not every single person who comes to your website is essentially going to buy from you when it comes to your online store. So in the example that we're using, the beauty business example, we are putting ads into the Facebook Meta realm. We're grabbing people's attention. We're getting their email and their contact number. And now we need to convince them that it's worth making a booking with us. This is what we call lead nurturing. So we'll have like some automated WhatsApps go out talking about the business, maybe some automated emails, further explaining what we do, reminding them to make a booking with our business. The lead nurturing phase basically just includes us doing whatever we can through email, SMS, or WhatsApp, or even phone calls, doesn't really matter, to get someone to understand the value of the actual product or service that we're selling, so they might want to book a call or might want to add that thing to their cart, right? And then the last stage, that is essentially us converting that person into an actual client. So once they've made a booking, how do we get them to show up for that booking so that we can do the laser treatment and collect our cash? If they have added that product to their cart, what can we do now through automated sequences to ensure that they actually convert? And there are many things that we can do. If you're a B2B business, for example, then it's all about how do we train our sales team? How do we improve our demo presentation in order to ensure that a higher amount of people who jump on a demo actually converts into a client or a customer? All right, and now we come to the last phase, which is the after phase. And stage 1 of the after phase is delivering a world-class experience, whatever that may be. For example, if you bring a client into your agency, what can you do immediately in order to remove any potential doubt or buyer's remorse? By sending them a gift, or by jumping on an onboarding call and surprising them with the team and really sharing knowledge that gets them excited. If you are a beauty beauty business, if someone shows up, how can you blow them away with some added value? For example, hey, we've done a facial, here's a couple of free masks for you. Or in this case, we've done hair removal treatment, here's some cream for free to treat the redness of your skin. What it boils down to is just giving people a great experience so they actually feel good about what they've invested their money in. Now in our agency space, that's delivering results. And obviously we try and deliver on that best we can, but whatever you're doing, the question is, how can we ensure that we deliver a world-class experience so the customer goes, this was freaking amazing. So there's 2 more stages to the last phase, and you might be sitting there going, well, what else is there to do? Well, the next thing is you want to ensure that those people come back every single month as much as possible so that you can increase the lifetime value of that client or potentially that customer. So stage 2 of the last phase is just retaining that customer or client as long as you can by continuing to deliver a great experience, or by staying top of mind, or if you're an online store, by reminding people about your top sellers or what's new or what's back in stock. It doesn't really matter what it is, but at the end of the day, there's only really 2 ways to build a business. You need to find new customers every single month, but at the same time, you need to bring as many people back every single month so that you can continue growing and compounding your growth. Otherwise, every month you're starting on 0, and that can be very stressful and anxious for you. And now the last stage of the after phase is getting those clients or customers to actually refer you to their network so that you can grow your business through word of mouth. Now, yes, you can grow your business through paid ads, and you should do that. You should never depend on word of mouth, because word of mouth is not a predictable way to grow your business. It's just not. If you really want to take your business to the whole new level and you want to predictably scale this organization of yours, year on year, then you can just not depend on word of mouth marketing. It's just not going to work because it's unpredictable. Word of mouth marketing should be seen as a luxury. You should have a predictable sales system that spits out leads, and then you need an ecosystem of a team and automations and strategies and tactics in place to convert those leads into sales. And obviously, if you keep those people happy, they'll stay for long. That'll be the key driver of growth within your business. But at the end of the day, if you can keep people happy and they actually start referring to you, then you technically getting more leads, more clients, more customers, all for free, because there was 0 marketing dollars attached to finding that person because it was referred to by someone else. Word of mouth marketing is technically a luxury. At the end of the day, yes, you should do everything possible to increase word of mouth marketing, but at the same time, you can't depend to grow your business on it because it's just not a predictable thing to do. So the question is, can you offer a 10% off for the person who referred someone to you? Can you do a group discount? Can you provide some form of incentive to the person who has referred someone? All of these things are just ideas that you can potentially leverage or think about in order to get more people to refer people to your business. And that, my friends, is the one-page marketing plan. Really awesome book. You won't regret getting it. But like I said, this is basically the nuts and bolts of it. Hope there was some value in this video for you. If there was, I want to encourage you to like and subscribe. Cheers.